Botting on Roblox. The Roblox bot dilemma has been discussed by plenty of YouTubers over these past few weeks, and it definitely is an issue that negatively affects the game. In this video, I'm going to be specifically going over how botting in tower defense games only serves to negatively impact the experience. It's also a little ironic because the game that I'm playing in the background is called AI Uprising. Also, from now on, I will be putting the name of the game that I'm playing in the background on the bottom left corner of the screen like I'm doing right now. I did that for my last video, but some people were still asking me, so just for future reference, if you ever want to know what the game that I'm playing in the background is, I will always, from now on, put it on the bottom left corner. I'll just put the name of it for the first minute or so, or 30 seconds, and hopefully that helps you guys out. Anyways, let's get started. The first thing that we need to understand is why these issues came into fruition in the first place. Why do people feel the need to run multiple bot accounts at once for a Roblox game when it is just that, a Roblox game? A leisurely activity meant to be played for fun, not to be automatically automated by hundreds of thousands of bot accounts at once across multiple users. So why is this the case? Well, if we look at tower defense games specifically, it's because of the economy. The trading economy, to be exact. Games like Anime Adventures have plenty of bots on them as we speak, solely for the purpose of profit. The people that are botting the game, more often than not, I can't speak for everyone that bots the game, but I think it's safe to say that about 99% of the people that are running these bot accounts to auto-farm the game are doing it in hopes of making some money. Because people can either sell accounts on Anime Adventures, people can sell accounts that have Aizen on them, even though he's not tradable yet. People can auto-farm the event right now that's going on to get a bunch of limited time units, and once those limited time units end, or once the limited time event ends and those units become tradable, they now have an immense surplus of these units to trade, sell, give away, whatever they want to do. Botting becomes a prevalent issue once a game develops any sort of economy. The same thing happened in Anime Defenders. The same thing is happening in a lot of big Roblox games right now, such as Blox Fruits, Adopt Me, Pet Simulator. You know, games like these, all of them share one common trait, and that is that they had in-game economies. And when people see that, they also see a chance to exploit this system in order for personal gain. We also had bots in Anime Vanguards, even though they didn't have any sort of economy, and they still don't. So why is that? Well, I would probably just chalk that up to people getting ready for the economy. Like, people were just farming units that are going to be tradable in the future. They have confirmed that exclusive tier units are going to be unobtainable somewhere down the line once trading gets added. And a lot of people read that message, and their eyes turned into the little dollar signs like Mr. Krabs, and they decided that they needed to bot the game to get more of these units before they become unobtainable. This happened since the inception of Anime Vanguards. Ever since we got our first ever Battle Pass unit, Haruka Rin, who was a buff unit. She was, I think, the first ever exclusive unit. People saw her, saw that trading was said to be in the pipeline somewhere down the future, and since she was tradable, we saw a lot of bot accounts in Anime Vanguards. Something else that's a little funny to note about bot accounts is that they really only flock to the most popular games of a genre. Back when Anime Vanguards was in its heyday, upon release, and I'd say updates 1, 2, yeah, from release to updates 1 and 2, I would say was where they really experienced the bulk of their player base rises. That was really where the peak was. You would very, very easily come across bot accounts within the main game. And now that Anime Adventures is out, and it is currently the biggest in the genre, you see all of these bot accounts flock over to Anime Adventures. And before the bot accounts were on Anime Adventures, and before they were on Anime Vanguards, guess where they were? Anime Defenders. Botting on tower defense games is no new or novel concept, and it's been going on for a while. But why exactly do the Roblox CEOs, you know, the suits over at Roblox, why do they continue to turn a blind eye to these issues? Well, it's not necessarily that they don't know how to fix this. I'm sure that these guys could definitely implement some fixes to stop things like this, but here's my personal theory as to why botting is still a thing. The answer is money. Roblox, I'm not saying that they could just snap their fingers and get rid of bots in an instant, but they definitely could implement more features than they have right now to prevent the mass spread of botting across their platform. But why don't they? It's because at the end of the day, frankly speaking, they just get more money from ignoring the problem. To them, it's not really more of an issue more than it is just more money on their bottom line. You gotta think about it like this. When Roblox has these thousands upon thousands of bot accounts playing the game constantly, this still looks good for their metrics. It still numerically looks like their website is getting a lot of visits, a lot of traction, a lot of active users. This makes investors happy. This makes Roblox happy. This increases their bottom line, making them more money. So really, what incentive do they have to stop bot accounts? It's not really hurting them specifically. It's more so the players that have to suffer and get the short end of the stick. That's my personal theory, right? That's just a theory. Okay, anyways. That's what I personally think is the driving factor behind just turning a blind eye to bot accounts, because it's obvious that Roblox has seen these issues, right? It's obvious that people have raised awareness about these things. YouTubers, hundreds of thousands, well, maybe, like, okay, how much does Creekcraft have? Like, huge YouTubers, okay? Like, people that have a lot of influence on Roblox because of their platform have brought these issues to light, and it's still a problem. So, in my eyes, Roblox knows about this. There's no way that they don't, right? They don't live under a rock. So, they're just choosing not to do anything because money. And now we know the reasons as to why botting is a thing, and now we know why they won't fix it. Let's get into why botting is a problem, specifically for tower defense games. The presence of bots detracts from the gameplay experience. What do I mean by that? The fact that there are so many bots flooding the servers, if you're playing, right, and you see a bacon here in your lobby, you're probably not going to bat an eye. You probably won't really care, because as an individual, your gameplay experience isn't massively affected. In the long run, that's where we start to see some issues. And the best example that I can think of this is anime defenders. In fact, they are probably the poster child for the dangers of botting in tower defense games, because in the end, it will do you a lot more harm than good. The reason that I'm using anime defenders as an example is because this game was botted to oblivion. Hella people were botting this game. In fact, like, at some point, I would say that their player base was about 30 to 40% bots, and that's being generous. They had a lot of botted accounts on their game. And this brings me back to a point that I talked about earlier. It's because they had trading since release. Trading was a thing, like, off the rip. This means that they had an economy. This means that there was a way for people to exploit that economy for personal gain and money. I feel like I've said that before, but you get what I'm trying to say. Anime defenders had such a huge botting issue that once the game started falling even remotely out of favor within the tower defense community, there wasn't really that many loyal players to stay by its side and continue playing it. A game that I would say has loyal players is Anime World Tower Defense, Anime Last Stand, Anime Vanguards. All of these games right now don't have as much as the top tower defense game, that being Anime Adventures. In fact, I don't think any of them even have more players than SpongeBob Tower Defense or Toilet Tower Defense, or like literally any other tower defense. Although they still have a good amount of players in the thousands range, they don't have that many right now. Whether that be because of a lack of updates, people just aren't playing the game, yada yada. What I'm trying to say is, I am willing to wager that the three games that I just listed, ALS, AV, and AWTD, all three of these games, maybe you'll find the odd bot account here and there, but most, if not all, of their current players right now are real people playing the game. And that's good. That's really, really good, because even though they don't have a staggering amount of players, the fact that it is real people playing the game and all the items that are being grinded for are obtained organically and not by a robot who's just mindlessly farming it is good for the game. And this brings me back to Anime Defenders. Botting became such an issue that it later evolved into a black marketing issue, and then the black marketing issue evolved into inflation, and then inflation turned into the death of the game. Now, Anime Defenders, I've made a whole video about that, whole timeline analyzing the rise and the fall. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you haven't, I'll put a little picture of it right now. But the thing about Anime Defenders was It fell off due to a plethora of reasons. A big driving factor, one of those very big reasons, was the fact that trading became essentially worthless in that game. The inflation got so extremely bad because people were just auto-farming gems, farming units, getting too many units, selling units. This turned the economy on its head. This made a lot of things worthless. This made gems worthless, the main currency of trading. By the time that they tried to fix it, it was way too late. And when trading becomes basically ruined in your game, you're gonna lose a lot of your real players. People that were profit trading basically quit the game. Most people stopped playing the game at the time that I'm making this video, but botting and inflation in Anime Defenders specifically was one of the main things that you can accredit to the game's downfall. And that's exactly why I think botting is so dangerous on anime tower defense games. Right now, Anime Adventures has plenty of bots, and I don't know if they're going to do anything to stop that. Because the same logic for them is the same logic that I use for Roblox, I would apply to them. Why would they want to make less money? What incentive do they personally have to ban all of these bot accounts that are playing their game when it just boosts their numbers and makes them look better in comparison to other games? Here's the answer. They probably don't have one, meaning they won't do anything to fix it. Now, games like Anime Vanguards have gone out of their way to ban botted accounts because they know of the long-term harm that these types of activities can cause to their games. It is a million times better to have a smaller community of real players than a bigger community with a lot of bots. Now, Anime Adventures, I don't think it's the most botted game on Roblox. I'm definitely going to give that to either Blocks Fruits or Pet Simulator. But there's still a very good amount of bots in the game, and that worries me because that is not good for the health of the game, and if the issues left unchecked for too long, could have some serious negative consequences somewhere down the line. But with all that being said, I think we're done here for today's video. Let me know in the comments which tower defense game you think has the most bots on it. If your answer is an Anime Adventures, I'm going to be pretty surprised. Now, the thing about Anime Adventures, before I end the video, something just popped into my head. The game is so popular right now, and it has enough real players for the issue not really to be a thing, but I think it's really going to rear its head during the drought seasons when people are getting a little bored of the game and there's not an update in a very long time, and the remainder of the players are just bots auto-farming instead of real people playing the game. That's when I think a lot of red flags are going to be raised and a lot of people aren't going to be happy with the current state of things. Right now, Anime Adventures is chilling. They are fine. They are, like, good to go for at least another couple of months, I'd say. The hype for this game is still pretty big, and I don't see it dying down anytime soon. But I definitely think that if they want to be in it for the long run, which, let's be honest, they do, that's the reason that they came back and changed a bunch of their models, they're going to want to do something about botting in their game. But now we're done for sure. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments. Brain fart. Forgot what I was going to say. But thanks for watching. Have a great day night wherever you are. We'll catch you in the next one.